Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds, heaven Godspeed.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Uzbekistan, Golden Heart of the Silk Road, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegan, cause we don't want any more war.
Gracious viewers, to wish a friend good luck in the Uzbek language, you can say, Obadio Bosan. I'm Anya. Together, through our noble actions and eating habits, we can help to create a heaven on earth for all sentient beings. The virtuous people of the Republic of Uzbekistan are touched by your kind actions and sincere prayers to alleviate the suffering of all vulnerable beings. May Allah's mercy be upon you. Welcome to our program, Uzbekistan, Golden Heart of the Silk Road, Part 2 of 2. More than 1,000 years ago, citizens from Asia, the Middle East, and the West converged in one location to share ideas, culture, art, spices, music, and more as they journeyed to faraway lands. This location was the site of modern-day Uzbekistan, once known as an oasis in the middle of the famed Silk Road. Art and culture have flourished in the region for centuries. Many of today's artisans who showcase their skills to locals and tourists alike are descendants of elders who passed their knowledge on from generation to generation, thus preserving ancient methods.
Ceramics is a family business for us. My father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, they were all ceramics. I'm in 6th generation.
The ceramics master of a pottery dynasty, he still uses the old techniques and only local materials like clay. Pottery is highly popular in Uzbekistan and among the oldest crafts in the country.
Uzbekistan has a remarkable history of ceramic art. Its famous blue ceramics were considered prized possessions by people all along the Silk Road. The secret to their rich blue color was their Ishkor glaze, which came from ashes of bushes known only to the artisans who made them. Elaborate detail is seen in these works, created by using thin brushes and vibrantly colored paints. The town of Rishton, known as the ceramics capital of Uzbekistan, is where the craft has been continuously practiced for over 1,000 years. Here, pottery workshops still produce wondrous handcrafted clay creations found nowhere else in the world. Wood carving is another art form that has thrived in Uzbekistan for at least 1,000 years. Uzbek wood carvers use only a hammer and chisel as well as their extraordinary imagination and patience to turn functional items such as furniture, tables, jewelry boxes, and book stands into exceptional works of art. Many of Uzbekistan's most famous structures showcase carved doors and pillars of wondrous beauty, full of floral patterns and geometric themes. Carpet weaving in Uzbekistan dates back to the Stone Age. While excavating semi-nomadic tribal dwellings, stone spindles for making yarn were discovered. Incredibly, the process of spinning yarn on stone spindles is still used today in some rural areas. Carpets are used to decorate walls and floors and as furniture. The dyes come from all natural resources such as red from pomegranates, yellow from onions, brown from walnut hulls, and more. Each region in the country has a unique style of contrasting colors and decorative ornaments. While traveling through Central Asia in the 13th century, the Italian explorer Marco Polo wrote in his travel notes, "One has to know that the finest and most beautiful carpets in the world are manufactured here." Traditional embroidery is known as Uzbek Suzani. In earlier times, girls started learning the craft as early as 10 or 11 years of age. The most important embroidered item within an Uzbek family was the Suzani, a large decorative wall piece hung in a newly married couple's home to symbolize a long and healthy life together. This piece could take up to 5 years to complete. Homemade natural dyes are also used for this craft, and artisans say this is the secret to the Suzani staying bright for decades. Today, rich hand-embroidered patterns can be found on clothes, accessories, pillows, and more. Embroidery is also seen in the national dress of both Uzbek men and women. Men wear shirts with long sleeves, an outer quilted robe tied with a shawl, and loosely cut pants. Richly decorated robes are worn for special occasions. The Uzbek cap, known as the tubatika, is worn to cover the head, sometimes draped over a turban. Female clothing consists of a traditional robe, a functional dress, and light trousers. Textile patterns are brightly colored and can include up to 7 colors in geometric or floral designs. The costume color sometimes symbolizes a person's age, as red and pink are common for girls and young women, and light blue and gray are for the middle-aged. Darker colors such as black, violet, and dark blue, symbolize mourning. Women cover their heads with 1 or 2 handkerchiefs, and younger women sometimes wear a tubitika instead.
Note to vegan. Congratulations, you will be served day and night by the devils, who make sure that your roasting hellfire will never go out.
Appreciative viewers, let's pause for a moment now to hear a brief message. We'll return shortly. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our program. Let's take a look at some of the fascinating instruments crafted and played by Uzbek musicians. The most popular Uzbek percussion instrument is the doira, a handheld drum with metal rings on one side. The drum is played with the fingers of both hands and shaken to produce a mixture of deep drum beats and softer sounds comparable to the rustling of the wind. A unique Uzbek percussion instrument is the karak, which are flat oval stones played in a manner similar to castanet clappers. Artists hold two in each hand, shaking them to create lively rhythms. The dutar is an ancient, long-necked, two-stringed instrument that can be strummed or plucked and is often played accompanying folktale telling. Abdurrahim Hamidov was a well-known dutar master and one of the greatest players of his generation. The pear-shaped oud is another string instrument often heard in Uzbek music. It features 11 or 12 strings in 5 or 6 courses and produces delightful soft melodies. One of the most fascinating instruments played by Uzbek musicians is the Chan-Kobius bozor, known more commonly as the jar harp in the West. The deep sound of this unique instrument accompanies beautiful dances and is definitely in a league of its own. One musical group combined the traditional instruments and poetry of Uzbekistan's past with modern rock and pop music. Yala, originally from Tashkent, appeared in the 1970s and became internationally renowned through the 1970s and 80s. They performed songs in 10 languages and held concert tours across Asia, Europe, Africa, and Latin America. One of their most famous albums was Free Wells, released in 1982. It's time to dance. The most popular form of dance in Uzbekistan is lasky, which dates back to the Khorezmians who lived in the delta of the Amu Darya River at least 3,000 years ago. Lasky is performed by men and women of all ages, both solo and in groups. Different themes emanate from the movements based on the traditional instruments accompanying the dancers, such as the surnay, karak, doira, and others. An ancient legend portrays the dance as a soul coming into a human body, unsure and slow at first, then gaining movement and momentum. The dancer begins by slowly raising their hands towards the sun before moving their limbs one by one in broken motions with unique facial expressions. The rhythm of the music and movement accelerates throughout the performance as the body is brought to life, filling up with a life force of happiness and joy. Beautiful synchronicity is choreographed when the dance is performed in groups. Lasky is recognized in the UNESCO representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity as a cultural heritage of Uzbekistan. From April 25th to 30th, 2022, the city of Khiva hosted the International Lasky Dance Festival. The event was organized by UNESCO, the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Heritage, the Ministry of Culture, and other Uzbekistani governmental departments. Citizens from an estimated 30 countries attended the colorful and energetic gathering. Alongside the famous Lasky dance, the event was dedicated to showcasing Uzbekistan's music, arts, and culture. The Boysan Bahori Folklore Festival is another annual event that's immensely popular among locals and foreign guests alike. The cultural space of Boysan was proclaimed in 2001 by UNESCO as a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage. The festival was then launched in 2002 to preserve the folklore, dances, traditions, customs, and rituals that have been a part of this mountainous region since the pre-Islamic era. The festival is held in the spring when the mountain area is covered in green foliage and blossoming meadows, thus the meaning of the name Boysan Spring. Among the festival's highlights are elaborate performances of local songs, which combine singing, dancing, instrumentation, and theatrical performances, all while performers wear beautifully embroidered local attire. Historical epic poetry is also performed at the festival by bakshis or storytellers. While playing a traditional instrument, the bakshi often recites the poetry with closed eyes, as if entering an ecstatic state. In 2021, bakshi art was inscribed on UNESCO's representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Uzbekistan has certainly marveled us with its magnificent culture and art that reflect the diverse and ancient heritage of its residents. It is an open, friendly crossroads where people of all nationalities and races are welcomed. We pray that Uzbekistan will have a future as long and prosperous as its historic past through Allah's grace.
Importantly, going vegan is the most impactful and important decision we can make to reduce cruelty and suffering for animals. In essence, it is the pursuit of granting non-human animals the moral consideration that they deserve and working towards creating a more ethical world. Ed Winters, aka Earthling Ed, vegan.
Distinguished viewers, thank you for your company today during Uzbekistan Golden Heart of the Silk Road, Part 2 of 2. Up next is Our Ability to Connect with God, a conversation with Dr. Andrew Newberg, Part 1 of 2, right after noteworthy news. May all beings realize their soul's true purpose of blissful reunion with the divine.
Russia, leave Ukraine or you reign now. Peace be with you too.
Be vegan. Make peace. Do good deeds. Hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/CTAW.
మా కార్యక్రమాలు అందజేస్తున్నాయి అనేక భాషలలో. దయచేసి చూడండి suprememastertv.com/schedule మరియు suprememastertv.com/CTAW.